Hi, welcome back to Brown Acre Farm. I'm Brandy and I'm here with a garden update. I haven't done as many garden updates as I was expecting to because frankly there was not a whole lot of garden progress to share. We had a really dry and kind of cool spring and through most of June, so the garden just got off to a really slow start compared to how it's been in past years. So it's finally starting to really show some growth and come alive now that we're getting a little more sunshine, a little more heat, and the weather's just a little more garden friendly than it was for most of June. So I'm going to walk you around. I'm going to show you what's going really well, what maybe isn't going so well, things we're thinking about changing, and some of the processes we've implemented in the garden just to streamline our life a little bit, make it a little less labor intensive because we still work full time and life is just busy. So let's take a walk around the garden, see how everything's doing, and talk all things garden, because what better is there to do? So the first thing I want to point out walking into the garden is right here is my wisteria. So I planted that from a bare root plant last year up on my trellis, which this is the trellis my husband and I actually got married under. So it's really special to have it here in our garden. But this wisteria is really taking off. I'm really happy with it. I'm hoping that maybe next year we're going to have some blooms. I had one over on this side. Unfortunately, it did not make it. So I'll probably be planting another one, but we have one that's doing well. First here is our zucchini, which as you can see is taking off. It's doing really, really well recently. I've got two plants that are huge. I've got a couple others that are a little bit smaller, but I'm hoping that those are going to start to take off a little bit more. I just think that these are shadowing the smaller ones, so we might need to do some pruning or something, but we've got some good fruit coming out there, starting to form. I am not really sure what this is. It just showed up here in the last couple of days on some of my big leaves, so I need to do a little research, or if you know what that is and how I can take care of it, drop me a comment below. Obviously I want healthy zucchini plants. This one over here has it just a little bit too. You look closely there. So yeah, but some good zucchini hopefully on the way. This is my strawberry patch. I just planted this year, so I did not get a huge harvest this year, but they're really healthy. I've got some really long runners, so I'm hoping that next year is going to be a really strong strawberry year for us. These are zinnias. They came in a little patchy, but I should be getting some blooms here in the next couple of weeks. These were carrots. Did not go amazing. As you can see, I only had a handful of carrots pop up, so I need to do a little more research into carrot planting, figure out exactly what went wrong and why those just did not do as good as I was hoping they would do. Over here is peppers. So we've got a couple different types of peppers, some jalapenos, some sweet peppers, bell peppers, stuff like that. They're all doing pretty good. I did not have good luck with peppers last year, so I'm really hopeful that this year is going to go better than I did last year. You can also see I've got flowers all around. They're doing really well. I do impatiens, and my impatiens seem to just excel here. These are all potatoes. So one bed, two bed, and then these pots right here, all potatoes. They are doing amazing. We do really well with potatoes here on our homestead. They're a constant producer for us, so this year is no different. Waiting basically on these leaves to slowly die off, and then we were going to be able to harvest this wonderful potato harvest, which I'm super excited about. This is about twice what we did last year, so it's exciting to get more out of it. I have some flowers here. I think the greenhouse called these like baby dahlias. You can see I have a couple more coming, but they've been really cute. I just love dotting some flowers around for some extra interest and color. They make me happy. Here are cucumbers. They are doing good this year. Really slow to start because it was so dry and cool, but here in the last couple weeks they have taken off. I can see a whole bunch of buds coming in. You know, they're starting to climb my trellis here. This side is doing better than this side, but you'll have that sometimes. And there's a goose my favorite little outdoor kitty. He is just the best ever, and he loves to help in the garden. He's out here all the time, and we're happy to have him. He's a little obsessed with people. All right, so cucumbers doing good. Hopefully I can get this side a little stronger compared to this side, but overall I'm happy. I'll just trip over the cat here. These are my green beans. So we put these on a trellis. We thought that they were pole beans, but they do not seem to be trellising. So I think we ended up with bush beans. They are producing. If you look, I've got a whole bunch of beans down here. So I need to come out here and do some harvesting, but I'm a little disappointed that I was really hoping to get the pole beans up over my trellis. It just didn't work out. We somehow ended up with the wrong type of beans. So I might try to do a second planting of those after these kind of run their course, but we'll see how that goes and if I get to it or not. These right here are pumpkins. They're not doing real great. I think that maybe the seeds I had are a little bit old. I think were from 2021. So I'm starting to wonder if just maybe those seeds just didn't have it in them anymore, because they just don't seem to be taking off like everything else has been. So we will see if those continue to struggle or if I can get them to come to life a little better. I might fertilize one more time. On this side, a couple other things we have. So these are watermelon, and I've got a tiny cantaloupe over there. My other cantaloupe died. It didn't make it, but the watermelon are finally starting to take off. They were really slow to start. Again, that darn dry, cool spring. This cantaloupe is very small, but it is finally starting to come to life, so I'm hopeful that it's gonna take off soon. These 3 tomatoes are doing amazing. They are my biggest tomatoes. They are so strong, and I have so many starting to come to life. If you look closely, see all those big tomatoes that are hopefully starting to ripen here soon. Yes, I still have the cat following me. He's trying to trip me the whole way. So these tomatoes did really well. Here's my bigger tomato patch. One row did really well. This row, not so good. This row, also not so good. It's all exactly the same. These were similar plants. I'm just not really sure what went wrong with these 2 rows and why they're struggling. They are alive, they are producing some fruit, but they are just not as prolific as these or these. So that is something we have to figure out. If anyone's got a similar situation and has figured out how to remedy it, let me know, because it's really frustrating. We were really hoping for a strong tomato harvest this year. I still think it's going to be good, just not quite as prolific as we were wanting. We cleared out a tree right here. You can see it over there. We haven't gotten it cleaned up yet because it was shading a little bit more than I would have liked. So we went ahead and got rid of that. We still have another one right there, and we're going to get a little more light to the garden, which is always a good thing. This was onions. I'm not sure when we were supposed to harvest them, and I haven't really had the nerve to pull them yet and figure out if I had missed my window or not. So they're kind of just hanging out. I probably botched that, but it is what it is. Onions and garlic is something I've not yet mastered, so maybe that's next year's project. All right, so last thing I want to talk about is my watering system. Also, my garden's messy. I have been weeding, but we get a lot of stuff that falls out of the trees, and it just is what it is. But you can see I have these soaker hoses all over the place around almost all of my plants. A couple plants I haven't been able to get on soaker hoses yet, but I'm trying to get everything on soaker hoses. So what I've been doing, we just don't have time in our life to come out here and water the garden by hand as often as we need to, especially in this dry weather that we have had most of this spring. And it's just been busy. We work full time. Life is crazy. There's just only so many hours in the day. So I put out these soaker hoses. They're very reasonable. I will link a few in the description box for you. Cat again, very helpful. So I have them attached to a couple hoses. Come over here. and I just have this little manual timer. So I just turn that to however much time I need to, and it will run the hose, and then it will automatically shut off when that timer goes off, so that I'm not like watering for hours on end if I forget to turn this back off, which inevitably I do forget to turn the water off. So this has been a lifesaver along with the soaker hoses. I usually come out here first thing in the morning when I'm doing all my chores, turn it on, set it for like 45 minutes, and then, you know, it's going to turn off automatically, or I do usually try to come out here and manually turn this off before I leave for work. So that's been amazing in the garden, as is the weed fabric. You see we have absolutely everywhere. It keeps our weeding down to very, very, very minimal for the size garden that we have, which is so necessary because we just don't have time. There's just not enough hours in the day. So that is where the garden's at. Some things doing really well, some things not doing so well. Such is a garden season, but we still enjoy it. It's still producing for us. It's still worthwhile. All right, Goose and I are signing off. He's the most helpful kitty ever. We love him to pieces, but thank you for following along on another garden tour. We've been a little quiet on here. Oh, gotta get rid of the cat. It's just been a really busy season, and YouTube has had to take a back seat, but I'm hoping to get back to it. A few things have slowed down now, so we should have a little bit more time. And we have some exciting projects we're working on as we continue through the summer. It's just been a little, personal lives have been busy, homestead life has been slow, so not much exciting to share, but I will check back in with another garden update sometime soon. Otherwise, subscribe, follow along. We have more coming, and thank you for watching. Thanks for your patience while we've been really quiet, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy gardening. You're just too cute, even if you are annoying and significantly too codependent. Such a weird cat. Such a weird cat. Anyone else's barn cat this obsessed with him? Just mine?